I recently saw Stephen King's It from 1990. Since we're a few days away from chapter 2, I thought I might as well review the first It and the second It. Well, the remake. Anyways, the movie takes place in the 1980s. You can tell because the parents don't give a crap if their 7-year-old is out without supervision. But why should they care, since their kids don't have chlorophobia apparently? After the little girl dies, we have a man investigating the scene. His name is Mike, and he's a librarian. He calls his friend Bill, who's a writer.
Bill. It's back.
Sure.
And then we have a flashback of these kids. Bill was the kid who stutters.
Georgie. Be careful.
Wait a minute, why did Bill tell Georgie to be careful? Did he knew Georgie was going to die? I mean, he did send him out with the boat. Unsupervised. After Georgie's death, when he gets his arm bit off by Pennywise, yes, the whole story, Bill reaches the book and the book starts to bleed, and his parents get mad at him for the most weird reason.
Mom,
What were you doing in Georgie's room?
Nothing.
Wait, why? Can he not be in his brother's room? I mean, he just died, he has to mourn. Back in the present, Ben is a celebrity. He was the one that got picked on for being too big.
Look at that gut.
Why the heck does the teacher not do anything about this? Why does she let them sit with each other? After several more inappropriate fat jokes, the bully gets in trouble and gets sent to the principal's office.
You're dead, fat boy.
Did nobody just see him threaten Ben in public? What the heck? Do something, teacher.
The sheriff has instituted a 7 p.m. curfew. We live in dangerous times, boys and girls.
No shit. It's because of people like you who don't stop threats from other students, and every goddamn parent leaves their child unattended and unsupervised. What the heck, parents? Anyways, a girl sneaks up on him.
Like this place so well, you're gonna stand there all day?
I guess she has a crush on him, but anyway, he stumbles upon bullies. Wait, why were they in front of him? I mean, they have the right to be in front of him, but if he saw them in front of him, why didn't he just stop? He saw them, but he just kept going. That's obviously illegal. Isn't anybody gonna stop this? Ben manages to get away while the bullies chase after him. Ben then hides inside this sewer tunnel pipe thing. Wait, what? How did the bullies not see him? He's right in front of them. The bullies then harass Bill and his friend. They'll do anything to look evil, even get their shoes and socks wet. When Ben goes home, his cousin annoys him, and then he beats the crap out of his cousin for being a little brat, and then he gets in trouble. What? Why does he have to apologize? Whatever happened to both sides of the story? Ben then starts to see his father in the sewers, but then he realizes that it's just a hallucination, and he's really watching Pennywise. Back again in the present, we see that Beverly, the only girl in the group, is a businesswoman, and she makes a really good business deal with some Japanese people, so her and her business partner and her husband celebrate. She gets the phone call that she has to go back to Derry to stop Pennywise, so that means she gives her boyfriend blue balls. So he's upset.
You remember the call at work today? He's an old dear friend. I have to... Shut up.
Oh, damn. That's obviously assault. She should call the police. But it's part of the relationship. He's just a very kinky man.
Forgotten your lessons, Betty. Too long since last time.
Put that thing down.
You get into bed.
No.
There's also domestic violence, shouting, assaults, concussion, threats,
Listen to me. If you ever come near me again, I will kill you. Do you understand? I will kill you.
and more shouting.
Bev, you need me! Bev!
Yep, sounds like a very happy and healthy relationship to me. In Beverly's flashback, we see that she gets an anonymous love letter from Ben, but I have several questions. How did Ben run so fast in under 5 seconds? Does he really think that tiny shrub can hide him? Well, I mean, if Beverly can't see him, then that means it must be working, so never mind. And how does he know Beverly's address? That's what I'm really concerned about.
Sometimes I worry a lot.
Daddy, please.
Jesus Christ! I told you that the adults are more villainous in this movie. She flees from her abusive father, and then Ben finds her and tries to cheer her up.
Hi. Sorry if we scared you. Are you okay? Haven't you got anything better to do than go sneaking up on people?
Didn't you sneak up on him at first?
Like this place so well, you're gonna stand there all day?
He takes her to Bill and his friends, and then she starts to fall in love with Bill.
Hi. Well, Bev wants to help. I hope it's okay. I mean, she's a girl.
What does being a girl have to do anything with this? We then go back to the present where we meet Eddie. Eddie's the one who had asthma. In his flashback, we see them watching a movie at the theater, and we also see Beverly hugging Ben and Billy at the same time. What? And then they take a shot at the bullies by throwing food at them. Why the hell did she just kiss Richie when she was with Ben and Billy? Don't call her anything degrading, don't call her anything degrading. Beverly, you Eddie's mom gets mad on how late he is, even though it's the middle of the day.
Eddie Kazmarek! I was worried sick. I almost called the police. No gym and no showers with the other boys this week. I don't want you catching their germs.
How do you get germs from showering with other people?
You take a shower, Kazmarek?
No, sir.
How did he know he didn't shower? Adults are weird in this movie. In the shower, Pennywise worked his magic and Eddie chose not to escape but to just simply stand there. Why didn't Pennywise kill him when they had the chance? Back again in the present for the 5th time, we then find Richie, who's a comedian. He gets a call that he has to go back to Derry. Richie is the funny guy with glasses. In the cafeteria, he gets into a heated argument with the bullies. Yet again, no adult sees this, but it's okay. Richie gets his comeuppance. Richie goes back into the basement, so he has to clean up the mess, but then finds a werewolf attacking him, which turns out to be Pennywise. Back in the present, we have Mike from earlier in the movie, who's a librarian, and he's been calling everybody that Pennywise has returned to Derry. But how the hell does he know everybody's number? In his flashback, he's getting bullied by the bullies, and it turns out that the 3 bullies gain more numbers by getting 5 bullies now. They threaten Mike with a rocket in his pocket. Jesus Christ, doesn't any adult see?
Hey, you! Stop that right now!
Oh, never mind. As he runs away from the bullies, we then find out that Mike and the bullies are both indestructible since barbed wire doesn't harm them. Mike finds help with his friends when they help him out with the rock throw war. Oof, right in the baby maker. After they won the rock war, they look at Mike's book. How the hell did they not get rid of the book when Pennywise showed up? I would have been scared the f*** out.
No! Yes! No! Yes! No! Yes! Yes! No!
Just a reminder that Stan is a Jewish kid who's the mostly afraid of Pennywise.
You sought to.
I didn't want to.
But you did.
They decide to prepare for battle with Pennywise in his sewer home, but knowing that this might be their last day of being alive, they take one last puff of Eddie's inhaler.
I got my sense in me in a plantation in the hills. Cause me no want no crack pipe and rasta man no swallow pill. Marijuana smoke is what's coming through my window sill. A ganja empire, I build. Hey, police 5, 8,000 gram of white last night. Somebody drop it on the course of a helicopter flight. Them suspect rasta and them neglect me.
As they start entering Pennywise's sewer line, we see the bullies spying on them. Why were they spying on them? Did they want to attack? If they wanted to attack, why didn't they do it? Or maybe they just wanted a hit out of that asthma inhaler.
I got my sense in me in a plantation.
As they're walking in the sewers, Stan gets abducted by the bullies. How did they not hear him? Do they rescue him? Nope. It's Pennywise to the rescue. Pennywise kills a bully. He makes the bully bend over while Pennywise has his way down his pipe. I mean, he goes down the pipe. As they all meet up again, they hold hands to become strong and avoid their fears. Bill sees George, Beverly sees her father, Richie sees a werewolf, but Stan, who's being most afraid, isn't strong enough to face his fears, so his weakness breaks the circle and causes Pennywise to take him. But after they damaged him enough, Pennywise escapes, and they all promise to come back when Pennywise returns. Back in the present for one last time, Stan, who's a married man, hears the news that Pennywise is back, and Stan, being the Jewish kid who was mostly afraid of Pennywise, he commits suicide in his bathtub since his fears got the best of him, which leads me to believe that Chapter 2 will do the same. This isn't a spoiler in any means necessary, since the remake for Chapter 2 hasn't even came out, which means I obviously haven't seen it, but this is simply a possibility. The story continues. And that was it. This movie has 0 flaws as of right now, and I say that because we're not done with this TV miniseries. This just covers what 2017 Remake has in stores, so part 2 will come out when Chapter 2 comes out. But this movie intrigues the hell out of me so far, with the fantastic storyline. Great work, Stephen King. I loved every second of it, and there's nothing wrong or bad with this movie. It's an amazing horror film that took back in the 90s. So with that said out of the way, I give Stephen King's It 10 unsupervisional, lazy, abusive, mean parents out of 10. If I really enjoyed this flick right now, I could only imagine how people in the 90s must have enjoyed this, on how terrifying and entertaining it was for them at the time, thus giving me the reason to rate this film 10 out of 10. It's a perfect classic horror movie, and I strongly recommend this for a good classic scary movie night.